Welcome to the video, What is Heritage for a Private Owner? The content of this submodule is divided into three parts: the concept of heritage, the impacts of cultural heritage, and cultural heritage management. Heritage is the cultural legacy that can be passed from one generation to the next, conserved or inherited, and an expression that has historic or cultural value. As you can see in this graph, we are focusing here on two types of heritage. Tangible heritage is a piece of property, a building or a place that can be owned and passed on to someone else. However, historic buildings are also related to intangible heritage, as they carry the history, language and traditions of the region and the country in which they were built. Practices of heritage are examples of intangible heritage. They refer to the ways in which we choose to conserve buildings and objects. Which buildings do we choose to save? Which stories do we choose to tell? Which people have lived there? These are important questions that will introduce the concept of heritage interpretation throughout this module. Cultural heritage has numerous impacts on our society. First, it has the potential to stimulate economic activity at a regional level, which can be estimated by studying the spillovers of its investments in the local economy. Cultural heritage also attracts public interest due to its social effects, which are often connected to enhancing social cohesion, fostering social inclusion, community empowerment and capacity building, enhancing confidence, civil pride and tolerance, as well as broadening opportunities for learning and skills development. Finally, the protection, conservation and restoration of cultural heritage have environmental impacts as well. Buildings are a necessary component of sustainability planning, as they are significant consumers of natural resources, producers of construction and demolition waste, and contributors to greenhouse gas emissions. Historic houses are long-lasting, as they carry the history of generations. Therefore, measuring and managing their environmental impacts is crucial to achieving a sustainable, low-carbon economy. Thus, the innovative use of heritage is not only a resource for preserving the historic memory, but it also contributes to sustainable growth by merging modernity and tradition. Historic buildings can embody different values. The collection value is the core business of historic houses. It's about collecting, preserving and exhibiting special objects, collections and other resources. Historic buildings are also valued for their role as bridges between their history, their public and other interested parties, as well as between past, present and future. Their educational value refers to their use as learning environments. Their aesthetic value is mainly represented by their architecture and the enjoyment it procures, while their economic value is based on tourist spending and job creation. However, the field of cultural heritage is also associated with various challenges. These challenges can be related to the involvement or the lack of involvement of the public sector in the cultural heritage field. They can also stem from difficulties specific to the heritage site itself. As you can see in the slide, there are 8 main challenges that owners can encounter in the field of cultural heritage management. Regulations implemented by national or regional protection, conservation or heritage agencies, competition with neighbouring countries, making the potential visitors understand the importance of cultural heritage while continuing to make heritage sites relevant and visit-worthy, lack of digital skills and digital training for employees, planning marketing strategy to gain visibility, lack of support from authorities, lack of funding, and high costs of maintenance and taxes. The process of cultural heritage management can be divided and summarized into 3 phases. knowledge acquisition, which refers to the activities of research and documentation. Conservation, which encompasses the efforts to preserve, protect and restore cultural heritage. Fruition and exploitation, which includes the different initiatives taken to disseminate and communicate the preserved knowledge. To fully grasp the importance of this last phase, it's essential that you get acquainted with the notion of heritage interpretation. Heritage interpretation can be seen as a process translating the meaning of heritage into a message destined to visitors, a communication tool helping visitors forge emotional and intellectual connections with the meaning of heritage. For this connection to take place, it's necessary for the interpretation process to be thought through 3 steps. Identifying the meaning of the heritage resource, elaborating the message destined to visitors, and anticipating the meaning that is going to be generated by the visitors themselves. Heritage interpretation is also about finding innovative ways to educate an audience on the history, value, or meaning of a place. It can be achieved using different kinds of media, from print elements to virtual reality. These actions will lead to a greater appreciation by the audience and thus may contribute not only to its understanding, but also to its conservation. With this, we end this video about what is heritage for a private owner. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.